Hello, Patriots. It's April 21st, 2025, and the show must go on. I love it. How you doing, Patriots? I don't know if the sound was coming through there. It wasn't coming through my earbuds, though, but it's quite the thing to watch, yeah, man. These little genius kids who learn how to play a tune like Beethoven on the piano by the time they're 5 years old. It's an amazing thing, man. That's the kind of thing this country breeds in our children. You know, we got peace, we got safety, we got security, and now our children can focus on stuff like that. I mean, isn't that a beautiful thing? That's something America is great at. I gotta love my country because of that stuff. So I hope the sound came out okay on that. Another week went by, and man, I can't even keep up. I had to tap out on the taking notes thing because I consider like most of what's going on right now as irrelevant information. What do we have? We had like a school shooting within the last week. We had the kid who stabbed the other kid with a knife in the chest at the other school. So all these like violent uprisings are happening again, all of a sudden. Lo and behold, here we go. When in actuality, there was real stuff going on in the government. and real stuff not going on that should have been going on in the government. And we're just left to try to digest what's going on in this country. It's crazy, man. What's up? Hello, USA. Good to see you, bud. So we got stuff that went on. We still got this whole judges thing going on, and it's almost like the judges feel that they can take over all the branches of the government here by just negating anything that Trump has to say about solutions for anything he wants to do. He's got like injunctions against him to perform his will after we elected him to do that for us. You know, he campaigns on these promises. I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. And he goes to do it, and a judge shuts him down. And now we got this the Supreme Court, and it sure seems like they're usurping power for some reason here, because the three branches of government are supposed to be equal. Not one is superior to the other, could shoot the other one down when they try to overstep their bounds, man. So we got that going on, and I don't know what the solution is for that. We just got to stay vocal, but our recourse is to call our representatives and let them know about this. But we've been calling about these judges for over 5 years. Congress does nothing about it. So I guess we're stuck in that cycle, that spin cycle. And there is other, court cases going on against Google. A federal judge finally came to the conclusion that Google is a monopoly. Now what do we do? How many years is it going to take us to figure out what to do with the fact that Google has a monopoly? They can throttle anything they want, anyhow they want, because they own it all right now. And it's... I don't know, if to be found to be owning a monopoly is a bad thing. It just means you conquered everybody else, basically. They might have done shifty things to do that. They might not have, but now we find ourselves in the solution where one company can throttle anything they want because they own the system, basically. Even DuckDuckGo has to operate in Google's system, So that's the way I understand it, Nova. Jamie, are you in here, Jamie? Hey, Jamie, I'll call you when we're done here. I need to talk to you. I haven't talked to you in so long. Hi, Jerry. Good to see you, man. And then there is also another case going on with Meta, the Facebook company now, that they were colluding with China to create spyware that was then may or may not have been used here in America. I mean, these are big things that are going on that mainstream media is talking about. They're not talking about it, nor is our Congress people doing anything about it. They just got to get their act together and start doing things for us. Congress only worked, I don't know if I got that in my notes or in a meme somewhere, but man, Congress has only worked like 20 days this year, 25 days or something this year. I got it in a meme somewhere. And it's really sick, man. They're not doing their jobs that we're paying them to. Oh, now we got the whole space capsule thing. I got a lot of memes, and that's what's going to trigger what I need to talk to you guys about here. Anyways, where is that one about they only worked, less than 30 days in the last year? Here we go. The House of Representatives has now worked about 25 days out of 107 days so far. These people don't deserve full-time pay. They don't deserve their positions, man. We are hiring them to represent us, and they can't even do it as a full-time job. It's really crazy, man. It's really crazy. It's left to be ineffective. And now we got this whole judge thing happening. Judges are overruling everything Trump wants to do. And it turns into a long-term court battle that we're never going to get out of quickly. Here's another meme that kind of touches on that fact. Now tell me, I don't remember this happening, but this is claimed that Bill Clinton deported 12.3 million people. George Bush deported 10.3 million. Barack Obama deported 5.3 million. Now, understand that all this happened while we had a border patrol. Like somehow or another, all these illegal aliens got in here, and I think these numbers are inflated. They're definitely inflated for past presidents here. They did all of that without one injunction from anybody about any of the operations that they were doing to deport illegal aliens. Trump gets about 100,000 out in deportations since January, and he's already got 30 injunctions against him. This is what lawfare looks like, patriots. This is what stagnates our country. This is what keeps progress from happening. And this is what is keeping us from making America great again. And I don't know that this judge thing has to be a popularity contest. It seems like it's just black and white. They're either allowed to do it or they're not. But the fact of the matter is nobody's talking about it on TV, so nobody really understands that it's going on. By the way, these are all from Hayden Music Page. I'd like to give them credit whenever I can, man. I copy these memes off of his show, and he's all right with that, man. Nayib Bukele, the president of El Salvador, was just here. And he's even tweeting about it, man. The U.S. is facing a judicial coup. So what I've been saying now the last couple months is that we have a coup that has occurred already in our government. There is a coup. They took over. They are ineffective for us. They're not doing their jobs anymore, or they're compromised. And they should be removed. You know, if it's like, allow the people that we elect to govern. They can't be putting up with all these legal battles. You have to be a billionaire to defend yourself on all this stuff. I can't afford to defend myself against the bullshit that comes my way. And I don't think 99% of the country can. Look at the devastation, the financial devastation that every single J6er went through in trying to defend themselves against the United States of America when they came after them. It's lawfare, people. The process was the torture. And then they threw them all in jail, and now they're all pardoned. And we all know they shouldn't have been thrown in jail in the first place. There was no reciprocity of sentencing between the lefty people that got rowdy and the right people that got rowdy, okay? They get 60 days, they pay a fine, they're done. Another guy just testified in something Marjorie Taylor Greene was hosting in the Congress, and he said, it just wasn't fair. And on the same day of sentencing that his client was thrown back in jail for questioning the sentencing guidelines. Another guy was let out of jail after assaulting two cops on two different occasions, causing $34,000 worth of damage, and assaulting a citizen also. Got off, no jail time, 6 months probation, misdemeanor. I don't know how that turns into a misdemeanor, you know. But not all assaults are assaults anymore, so we got to have varying levels of assault. Misdemeanor, felony, cop, citizen. It should be a lot easier. A lot easier. Okay, and then we had Easter was over the weekend. I hope you all had some good time, good food. And if not, I hope you stayed out of trouble. Maybe open the Bible and read all about it again, because it's an amazing sacrifice that occurred that 2,000 years ago for our salvation. Biden last year, if you'll remember, honored Trans Visibility Day on Easter in 2024. They just love pulling these doozies on Easter, because I can remember when the 15 days to flatten the curve, to flatten the spread out happened on Easter. That was just, all right, everybody, we don't know what's going on, but we're going to all stay home for 15 days to flatten the curve. Back in 2020, was it? Yeah, Easter 2020. As soon as Trump got out of office, they pulled that one out of their bag of tricks. But instead, Trump honors Jesus Christ, the resurrection on Easter 2025. We are not the same, patriots. Trump put out some very detailed statements about his belief, and I found them very accurate, and that's where I stand with him. And I think that's when we got the hand of God behind this country. That means this country is facilitated to spread the gospel throughout the world. That is why God allows America to prosper, so that we can spread the gospel of Jesus Christ throughout the world, send missionaries to every country. Doesn't mean the government's got to send missionaries. That means we have to be prosperous enough to send missionaries, to send aid. But the government has taken over our charity. They've taken over all of that stuff, where we can't even decide where our charity money goes anymore. We just give it to the government and watch them blow it. And that's what we just found out with USAID and many other government programs that have yet to be reported on. There was somewhat of a big nothing burger out of Doge last week. I thought something big was coming, but maybe it came and went, and we're still waiting for the pieces to, hit the ground and see where they lay. We've had the RFK files released, the JFK files are released. I haven't gone and looked them all up yet, but I'm told that they're out there now. That's all due to Kristi Noem. Kristi Noem is doing a fantastic job in following the mandates set forward by the President of the United States, Donald J. Trump, right now. And I think all of Trump's team is doing well so far. Yet there is a lot of static out there about certain MAGA people aren't happy with certain Trump team members. And we got to watch about the dissension thing that's happening. We have to remain cohesive. So, and it's a tricky thing. And had a big event happen this weekend pertaining to that, specifically in the J6 crowd, where, here's Kristi, man. She is kicking butt for Trump team, right? The people working under her are encouraged by her enthusiasm, her diligence, her productivity in the job, producing results. Nobody wants to work for a team that gets no points. Nobody wants to be on a team that loses all the time. We want to be winners. And putting Kristi Noem in charge of Homeland Security, I think, was a great move. A great move. And we're still weeding people out. I think Hegseth just got rid of another guy. Dan Caldwell, top advisor to Pete Hegseth at the DOD, was put on leave and escorted out of the Pentagon in the last week. You didn't hear that on Fox News. The Crossfire Hurricane documents were released. That has to do with the Steele dossier and all that bullshit we had to remember when they were trying to pull that wool over our eyes with the Russia collusion hoax. All the files are out on that. They lied to the FISA courts, and Schiff lied right to the American public, saying that all that information was valid. And there's Adam Schiff. He's still a representative or a senator, whatever he is, man. He's still sitting there after he lied to the FISA courts. He lied to the American public and put Trump through a 2-year Mueller investigation and 2 impeachments. It's just to look like this. This is when we the people got to step in and say, wait a second, something is off here. We got judges, they got to go. They got to go. So if you're going to call your representatives about one thing, I would say get on board with the impeachments. There's many of them that have been put forward, and they need to be voted on, and they have to do their fanfare. On proxy voting, it gets done in 2 days. But if we want, it's going to take weeks, which is not cool, Congress. Is not cool at all. In the last week, Trump made a statement about banning Congress from trading stocks. One of the big Doge reveals that I thought was going to be happening was I thought they were going to analyze where Nancy Pelosi got her millions, while she was working on a senator's or a representative's salary. How does she become worth hundreds of millions of dollars? So maybe Doge is looking into that. Maybe they already found stuff, and there might be negotiations happening right now, just like there are with the tariffs. And we haven't seen the end of it, but we have elected the team into place to do exactly what we want, what we know needs to be done, what we've known needs to be done for the last 25, 30 years, man. We had this Maryland senator, Chris Van Hollen. All of a sudden, they're elevating this terrorist, and all we know about this guy is what we hear on TV, right? So I don't know the guy. I don't know anything about the guy other than what they tell us on TV. And they tell us he's an illegal alien, he's MS-13, he's got the tattoos for MS-13, and that he beats his wife, and that he was he should have been. The 2 judges said he should be deported. Who cares about all this stuff? This is just static, false flag sideshows that the opposition puts up to deflect from the fact that we're winning, that we just did get all the J6ers out of prison, that they're out there fighting. They're not cowering in a corner against the entity that threw them unjustly into prison for that long. That Trump is out there rocking and rolling it with the tariff thing, trying to create a beautiful new environment, man. Hey, Sylvia, how's it going? Hello there. Good to see you. Hi, Cindy. All right. I can kind of see the chat today. Yeah, or something's Nova. I don't know if they should ignore, that. I want what's happening, what's going on. I don't want this kid stabbed a kid, and now we're going to make it a race deal on what color their skins were. A kid stabbed a kid at the high school. Kid brought a knife to school. That alone, right there, even if he didn't stab anybody with it, should have been jail time. Should have been expulsion from school. And then we got all the drama that went along with that. The father showed up at the press conference. They kicked the father out. Then I had to watch the father get berated even more by Jake Lang from the top of a bus in a phone call thing. I mean, that was fishy, man. We're watching a PSYOP production out there in that parking lot this weekend. So I don't know what's going on. All I know is Jake Lang's a controversial dude. He's always professing Jesus Christ. I mean, he must be a brother then if he actually believes what he's talking about up there off the top of the bus. But to call the father of a murder victim weak and misguided to his face on a phone call it's too much, man. You need to have some type of discretion. That should have been a backroom conversation, not on a live stream in the middle of a protest. That was not handled well, and Jake Lang did not handle the CPAC thing well. Jake Lang gives the personification that there is turmoil within our group, and then everyone gets flared up. What camp are you in? Are you in Jake Lang's camp? Are you in this camp? And to have a united front We want to make America great again, all right? If Jake wants to do it that way, that's fine. If I want to do it another way, that's fine too. But these divisive things, and I know there's shitty people out there that have done shitty things to each other, but we gotta stay cohesive and consider what it looks like, all right? You don't want to be the guy that goes to work and all you do is bitch about your wife, because you're the guy that's got to go home to that wife all the time, right? So if you're bitching about your wife to everybody at work, and then you go home to that wife, you really look like a dumbass, man. At least you got to know, make it look like you're having fun with this wife, and it's just counterintuitive to go and complain about your wife to people behind her back and stuff, man. I've worked with guys like this. It's insufferable, So I think it's the same thing, man. If we want to bitch about J6 topics or who's doing the right the right things at the right time, the right way, those should be private discussions, not in front of the whole world. I don't think, but we obviously are being baited into a race war, okay, or race conflict, because all the mainstream media wants to do is bring forward the fact that the one kid was white and the other kid was black. And I'll tell you the truth, I don't know any of the details about this because I didn't dip into it at all, okay? I didn't dip into the school shooting because I know what those things are too. And they are distraction stories. They are cloud-pivot strategies to burst your paradigm so that you overload and then you shut down and you take yourself out. You leave the room because it becomes so detestable to listen to the garbage and the lies and the conflict and the chaos that they present to you. You can't make sense of it because it doesn't make sense. So the more you think about it, the more frustrated you get about it. So we got to stay focused. Trump is still in office. His team is kicking butt. There is critiques that could happen, but let's be discreet about those critiques. Let's not get hostile about those critiques, and let's get it done. Let's get America. Well, we're just going to make it great. When were we great? Oh, you want to make it great again? When do you mean? Forget about it. Just make America great. And the whole Black Lives Matter thing. It doesn't matter what color lives. Lives matter. There's always an extra word in there that they twist and stab that word in your face, and it's the irrelevant word out of the whole phrase, It's maddening how they twist language, We're watching it right in front of our eyes, man. And it's hard not to disengage because it is detestable. It's detestable. It's a mockery. What else was the big mockery? Oh, the spaceship. Come on, man. Come on. If you guys all don't know that all our space explorations are fake by now, and that includes Elon, wake up. Wake up. There is no way that this spaceship went up into space and came back. Look at this. So who does fake space explorations better? Top picture's from Elon's attempt at it, and the bottom picture is Bezos' attempt at it, The Blue Origin, whatever you want to call it there, with the 7 virgins aboard, came back down into Earth and rebirthed and kissed the ground as they left after they fumbled the door opening. This is a mockery in our face, and this is satanic witchcraft ritual in our faces, man. Whether it looks like Elon does it or whether it looks like Bezos does it, or NASA for that matter. It's all fake, Patriots. It's all fake. So if we could just... All right, I'm not going to argue about it. That's where I stand. If you want to argue about it, let's not do it on a live stream. I'll do it behind doors with anybody. I love debating it because I have watched thousands of hours of NASA and moon footage, and it is absolutely fake. It's made in a Hollywood basement, man. And people have sung songs about it, and people have... It's a psyop that the spooks in this country have been doing to us through rock and roll music, through the media, through these events, these blast-offs that they do. And I know I'm going to piss a couple people off real bad if I say that, but I just can't believe it, Patriots. I went and saw a rocket launch when I was a kid. That rocket did not go straight up into the air. So what's up with that, you know? It went up and then it curved and went horizontal with the horizon out towards the ocean. I saw it with my own eyes. And it becomes comical now when we're all behind Elon, and Elon does it too. You know, he's faking space stuff, but he does it better. So if we have to watch fake space stuff, I'd rather watch Elon's than Bezos's, because that was just in your face. These chicks aren't even wearing helmets. The door opens the wrong way if there's an explosion on the capsule. They got bay windows on the capsule. It's not scorched by the atmosphere as it burned re-entry into the Earth's atmosphere. It's comical, Patriots. It is really comical. And as she brings a flower up there, I mean, this was a mockery. This was a total mockery. I don't know if you guys remember the chick on the airplane saying, "This motherfucker's not real." This is hilarious, man. And I'm going to spend 3 minutes finding out what they're telling us about these stories and just enjoy it like a cartoon. Enjoy it like a cartoon. Well, no, but think about it. Elon rescued astronauts. I don't believe that. I don't believe that he did that. Yes, we were led to believe that there were astronauts stuck in this thing. We're led to believe that that woman's hair just does some weird, unnatural thing in space, and that's not like a lot of hairspray. And it looks so fake. It must be real. I don't know. To me, it's irrelevant, and it's somewhat entertaining. Somewhat entertaining. And here's the proof. Here's proof. Satanic sex magic, man. On the left is the official insignia for Bezos's, what do they call it? The New Shepherd. Okay? That is the logo, the official patch that they all had on their uniforms when they went into that capsule. When you flip that thing over, upside down is what it looks like on the left. On the right is a picture of Baphomet, the satanic pagan god that mankind has been worshiping since the Babylonian days, man. Yeah, I don't know, Nova. I just can't believe any of it anymore. And then when you see stuff like this logo, that it absolutely is a goat's head meant to be designed when you flip it over to look like a rocket ship. And NASA, all the logos for the Apollo missions are the same. I mean, you can find satanic messages in all of this stuff. And the reason it's satanic is because it counters what God told us. God told us the earth is the center of the universe, man. We are not randomly spinning through the galaxy. Our sun is rocketing through the solar system, and 9 planets are orbiting that, and a moon is orbiting one of those planets. It's impossible. It's impossible. I heard a statistics guy say, it's more plausible for a hurricane to go ripping through a junkyard and leave in its wake a fully built space shuttle or 747 than it is to believe all of the Big Bang Theory and all of that goes along to that. And if you're interested in that stuff, look into creation science. I mean, these are Christian scientists. They come to a lot of discoveries. And it is in archaeology, it's in literature. There's all kinds of ways to study this, and it's fascinating things to study. And then that way we won't be susceptible to this stuff, man. How much proof do you need to admit 9/11 was an inside job, man? Magically appearing passports. They found the dude's passport in the street. Come on, man. Magically collapsing buildings. 3 buildings in New York City fell down from 2 airplanes. Magically disappearing airplanes at the Pentagon and at Shanksville. Absolutely no plane wreckage at either of those 2 sites. And I know all the things people tell you, oh, it disintegrated, it blew up into a bazillion pieces. There was no airplane wreckage at either of those sites. Magically diagonal cut support beams. I wish there was a human standing next to that beam when he would understand how huge and thick that metal is. And you're telling me somehow or another that beam just snapped off like that, or the airplane cut it like that. I'm not that stupid. I can't say, oh, yeah, you're right. I look at that and just can't admit it. It's like all the other things. Last time we were talking about the assassination attempt, all that stuff with Thomas Crooks and stuff. Oh, and by the way, YouTube did not like that video. I guess it got too gory. Every video I make, I say this video is not intended for children. I hit a special box when I'm setting things up that says this video is not meant for children, okay? And YouTube hit me up with we had to censor your video because it was not appropriate for children. And you know, you want to argue with YouTube? I don't even know how to argue with YouTube. You can never, there's no people that you can call and say, hey, wait a minute. That's the aggravation of being a YouTuber. You can never call anybody. Here's a great picture of Katy Perry. This is where Katy Perry was in her mind. Riding the rocket ship ride. I mean, when they're showing me those ladies, that whole scene of them landing on the ground. Did you see how hard that thing hit the ground, by the way? That capsule hit the ground. It hit it hard. And I just can't, even if you were strapped into a chair horizontal with the ground, I think you would have suffered spinal injuries. But every one of them girls got off of there. None of them were wearing helmets or a spacesuit. I've climbed mountains. I know how thin the air is at a measly 14,000 feet above sea level, you know. But the atmosphere, when you get up to however high that was, Nova, you know, where were they? At 150,000 feet? It had to be a pressurized cabin. You can't have windows that big on a pressurized cabin. Yeah, Federal District of New York heard explosions on different floors before the buildings collapsed. And Tucker Carlson just did a great interview with a guy who was a representative in Congress. He was on a couple of committees in Congress. He questioned the whole report for the report they did about 9/11. And he does not agree whatsoever. Guy waited 25 years now to say anything about it, which, you know, seems a little shady, but he's saying that there was many explosions in that building before it collapsed. And when firefighters finally did get up to the point of impact where in one of the towers where the airplane was, the guy who gets off the stairway and says, there's 3 fires up here, we can handle it. And then the guy says, 2 minutes later, the whole building fell down. So something was up with that, Patriots. And our investigation team did not get to the bottom of it at all. Not at all. Here's just a reminder. I got 99 problems and the government is responsible for all of them. Are you guys in the same boat with me on that? So let's just consider what our actions look like in the public and to the enemy. Let's stay united. Let's continue marching on. Live and learn another day. Every day is training for tomorrow. That's what I'm trying to say, I guess. This weekend was a great weekend, man. MAGA warriors were out there waving them flags proud. This was great. It was windy, crazy windy. And they were out there waving flags. Instead of going to these Elon protests and getting all wrapped up in their drama and their lunacy and their crazed logic, just go to your own street corner and wave Trump, Elon, American flags. That would be more of a beneficial, that would be a safer thing to do. And MAGA warriors making it look like fun, having a good time with it. Yeah, they got harassed quite a bit from people driving by in the cars, but there was a lot of support out there too. Yeah, Cindy W, they were awesome. Love the warriors. There's Silly for Him's got that link there. I want to post that in case you haven't seen this. Kurt Weldon was the guy on 9/11 whistleblower interview with Tucker Carlson. Keep tabs on Tucker. You know, he's always putting out good stuff. He just interviewed the boxer dude in Ireland, and he wants to possibly run for president, but I didn't get to watch that whole episode. There's only so many hours in a day, but it's all very interesting. Hi, Donna Ray. Love you guys, MAGA warriors. You are rocking it. And we got this stuff. I mean, this is the cloud-driven strategy, man. Oh, here's another link. Thanks, Silly. There was a third would-be Trump assassination plotted with Telegram account linked to Ukrainian cell number. They're activating the weak ones to go out and cause chaos on us. But anyways, you know, when you put a person like the person in the right in charge of anything, you cannot take anybody like that seriously. They may be really good at something, but transitioning into a woman after you're a man is just not something I want anybody in charge of anything that I'm voting for or responsible for. And we are responsible for this government, for this country. Ultimately, we the people are the bottom line in this country. Not the Senate. Not the House. And this is what they do. They brainwash you. Imagine, if you will, a government so corrupt it tries to convince the people that accountability is illegal. That's insanity. Hello, Priscilla. Good to see you. Hi, Carrie. They actually do that. I mean, they can convince you that, you know, don't look at the corruption. The whole Doge drama is that in a nutshell. He found hundreds of billions of dollars of fraud And people are so mad about it, they're getting off the sofa, getting on a bus, getting bussed in so that they can get a t-shirt and a sign and yell at the sky. Right before our face, there is a coalition happening on the earth right now. The world is changing. These are 5 world leaders and Elon Musk, and they are a coalition right now. These people are effective leaders. That's Bukele from El Salvador on the top right. That's Javier Milei from Argentina down on the left. That's Meloni from Italy, bottom center. And the top guy's from, I think, the Netherlands or something. And this is what we got to do to defeat these globalists, these people who, they hate us. They hate humans. We are the problem to them. All they want to do is accumulate wealth, our wealth. They're stealing our wealth. They're actively killing us. They're actively destroying our countries. They're actively polluting the environment. And there you have it. If I found out about fluoride 15 years ago, 20 years ago, you would think every scientist in the world would know about it. Every doctor in the world would know about it. But we're still at the point where we're trying to get people to understand that fluoride turns you into a low IQ zombie, basically. They put it in our water because it helps our teeth. But we all got rotten teeth, you know? So how's that working for you? It says right on the toothpaste, do not swallow. Spit it out. Oh, wow, Sylvia, that's harsh, man. GOP mayor of Lancaster, California says he wants to eliminate homelessness by giving them all the fentanyl they want. Oh, man. It's coming out right in the open, man. Right in the open. That's not a nice comment, Praxis. Yeah, that is sad, Priscilla. Yep, we got the fluoride tablets in school. They would put, yeah. Definitely learn about your own health. That's the stuff we should be filling our brains with instead of all the details of a kid who stabs a kid at high school and all the names and numbers of everybody who's in this high school shooting in a town that we'll never go to or never have seen and don't even really know if it's real. The mainstream media is a mass psychological operation going on. The CIA and the FBI owns it. And Trump team is still weeding people out. It's a tall task, but they are doing it. They are producing results. People are resigning. People are getting arrested. People are being removed from their jobs. There are court cases that are stacking up right now for prosecutions that are going to happen in the near future. We're going to accelerate the operation of our courts. That's one of the strategies of why the Supreme Court's latest decision makes absolutely no sense, that we have to have an individual trial for every single illegal alien that's come into this country when we know they broke the law. We documented them breaking the law by coming in. They have to go. That's all there is to it. You can make a proclamation. If you're not here legally, you have to leave. Self-deport or we will deport you. And it's an old tactic. Karl Marx didn't come up with it, but he wrote about it. He's like the father of it, but I believe it was around way before Karl Marx. It was around in the Garden of Eden, patriots. Accuse your enemy of what you are doing as you are doing it to create confusion. Is that not what's happening right now? On many, many different fronts. And here's the reality of it, man. Here's what they show you on the media. And there's a body cam photo of whoever this guy is committing the crime that he's saying he didn't do. Keep dreaming there, John Day. Go to some other channel and tell everybody that there, because we don't want to hear it, dude. We do not want to hear that. And we know that that's not true. Here, better yet, John Day, go get your 10th booster shot. You'll feel much better. Oh, and then this happened too this week. I mean, see, there's so much going on. So much. And here it is winning, man. Let's see who the mortgage fraudster really is. Oh! John Davey, it was Letitia James all along, accusing somebody of exactly what she was doing while she was doing it. Yeah, Priscilla, a lot of people are putting out good stuff, man. Cash Kelly's talking about it. MAG Americans was talking about it. These are topics we got to talk about, that's for sure. But I'd like us to do it without destroying each other somehow. Tommy Tatum's got a bunch of new videos out about Rosanne Boyland right now. And Rosanne Boyland is something that most people don't even know about, the story about Rosanne Boyland right now. But who's putting information out about it right now? Nobody but Tommy Tatum. He's the only guy putting stuff out about Rosanne Boyland now. And I think the time has come where people are going to go, what? There was another woman that was beaten to death on camera by police? I don't think they really know about that. Somehow or another, we got to, get the message out. All of the violence that they showed on TV, most of it that they showed on TV after J6 was in that tunnel. That tunnel was another orchestrated scene, just like that protest out in the parking lot was this weekend with Jake Lang. That was an orchestrated event. Those were actors. And they want us to devolve into a race war. Do not listen to those people, man. And yet all along, while Letitia James was prosecuting Trump for manipulating the costs and prices of his Mar-a-Lago and there's no victims to this crime, Letitia James was doing the exact same thing. Right in our faces, patriots. Is she going to have to sit through 7 weeks of court cases about her corruption? This is what I would like to see happen right here. Told you. She's corrupt. These people are criminals. They hate America and they hate you. Yes, Greg Kelly is getting some of that information out right now, man. There's a link to Tommy's. Check him out, man. He's got the clips of Greg Kelly talking about it. He's got the clips of the beating. And this is information that I know it's old news to us, but what they did to Rosanne Boyland is atrocious. And then after she was dead, they lied about her. They told America, the whole world, that she was a drug addict when she was not. Right, Cindy W. That's it. But what we got to remember is most people don't know everything that we know about that. So I think we have to continue to present our J6 message alongside all the other things that are happening, the tariff wars, the hostage war, everything that's going on. We can't stop putting the J6 message out. We want accountability for that whole event. And through that whole event, we are going to restructure the Department of Justice. We're going to restructure the FBI, the CIA, the Metro Police Department, the Capitol Police Department, and the Bureau of Prisons. All of those entities were the cause of J6. They worked in together to make all of that happen. Here's the moron from Maryland, Chris Van Hollen. Drove down to El Salvador, flew down, probably on our dime, to go meet with this illegal alien gang member with domestic violence accusations against him. And MS-13 tattoos on his knuckles. I mean, come on, man. Talk about self-identifying. I don't know why the MS-13 does that. It's not very bright. All right, Belinda Eckhart says Cowboy Logic is still talking J6. Excellent, man. There is others. Gateway Pundit is still talking about J6. CanCon is still talking about it. Mel Hawley's still talking about it. So we got our segment, our little J6 army is still rocking and rolling. In addition to Brian Mock, in addition to Jeremy Brown, in addition to many others who did not go cower in a corner and continue to stand and fight against this tyrannical government. And in the meantime, we're watching Trump manipulate China. And that's how it worked, man. China steals all our trade, makes all the money off of it, and they fund their army with it. There's 1,000 words in that picture right there. Oh, wow, this is news to me here. Robert Garcia, Maxwell Frost, Yasmin Ansari, and Maxine Dexter traveled to El Salvador today. Wow. Yeah, right on, Carol Burton. They can go down there, but they didn't go to the people that were flooded out in that strange weather in North Carolina. They didn't go console the victims, the people left over from the murders that happened in their states. Priscilla, Tina Peters, she's still fighting. And there are still people bringing it to the attention, man. Colorado is the epicenter of that whole battle right there. Oh, I got to look this one up when we're done here. James Comer's bold move throws Democrat lawmakers political stunt to visit wife beater and MS-13 gang member Garcia in El Salvador into chaos. Thanks for the link, silly. Awesome. Record inflation, record gas prices, record tax prices, record food prices. It all went up, everything. Joe Biden wanted to build back better. Remember that? What did he do? He's a train wreck, man. And yeah, millions of people got up and voted Democrat again. Again. But I think we're winning, and it's not easy. It's hard to win these battles, man. This misinformation that's coming out all the time. And this is how poor people look defending billionaires that don't give a hoot about them. James Comer previously informed the Democrat lawmakers that they can pay their own way. Oh, but that USAID money dried up. So we're still doing battle, Patriots. There's our trusty law enforcement. Another kid died, an autistic kid, teen with autism, shot by police, dies after being removed from his front yard. This boy was causing problems in his family. The family called the police. And the police showed up and took care of it. They were so threatened, so afraid that they weren't going to go home tonight to their families, that 4 police officers opened fire on an unarmed boy with a fence between them and the boy. This actually just happened. This guy's channel is Here's the Deal. This guy, if you want to, I mean, he just front and center, police brutality. It's happening all over the country. Every day there's another case. Constitutional rights just trampled by these police officers. And this is how they're trained to handle. Nothing happens here. They murdered this kid in his backyard across a fence. All they had to do was take one step back, and if the kid was going to, try climbing over the fence, they could have got him. There's 4 of them, for crying out loud. Oh. All right, here. Representative Frost said, "We got word at the embassy that our request has been denied by the government here locally because they say we are not here on official capacity." And they're not. There's a good leader, a good Bukele, man. He's like, "Did your president send you?" "No, what are you doing here? We deal with the president of the United States of America." Yeah, I think Here's the Deal does a great job at this. And there is no shortage of outrage pertaining to this. And it's hard to, back the blue when that kind of stuff is going on. Let's see, I think I got 1 or 2 more here. This is another 9/11 thing. I don't know if you know who Beverly Eckert was. Her husband was killed during the 9/11 attacks. I rejected a $1.8 million settlement from the government and filed a lawsuit against them instead. I was a loudmouth and a well-known figure in the 9/11 truth movement. Coincidentally, days after meeting President Obama, I died in a plane crash. True story. True story. That was 24 years ago. And we still have not gotten to the bottom of that. Many battles to be had, Patriots. Many battles to be had. No shortage. Here, you know how. So she brought a flower up with her. I mean, come on. Come on. Wearing like yoga pants in a space capsule, floating around. This is it's a sex magic operation there. We do not fight against flesh and blood. I hope you all had a great Easter. And I think we all need to, look inside about how we're living our lives. Stay in the scriptures, read the scriptures, believe the scriptures, and apply them to your life. Consider what we're doing here. Okay, Legally Armed America on YouTube has a video about the shooting of the autistic boy. It is a horrifying experience. And the people that called the police there to help them out had to watch that from their back windows of their house. He's a problem kid, but really, can we handle this? Or can't they handle it? Hi, Barbara. So praise God we have a Savior. Christ died for you. While you were yet sinners, still sinners, he died for us. Glory, hallelujah, that we have such a king as that, a Savior as that, man. Believe, study, learn who your king is. It helps a lot. It gives you guidance on how he operates and gives you guidance on how to live your life. And we got to just keep struggling along. So I'll try to take better notes this week. It's just so much went on, and so much of it, I didn't know if any of it was what was relevant and what wasn't until the end of the week came, But I still believe that we got to stay structured. We got to stay united in order to remain effective. Okay, Patriots? That's what I'd like to see. So God bless you all. Thanks for joining me on my little live stream show. And it's starting to rain on me, so I think I'm going to get heading out here. God bless you all, Patriots. This is Jericho. Over and out.